Good to be here with you. It's fantastic to see so many supportive faces, so many people who are standing with us during thick and thin. Um, as we all know, the past week was a tense one for everybody here on the ground, but I'm sure also for many people all around the world who are standing with us and who are really our partners and one with us, both in terms of what you carry in your hearts and in terms of how you experience things. Iran, the major destabilizing force in the Middle East, launched an unprecedented attack against Israel from Iranian soil. Just a few numbers. There were approximately 350 missiles, UAVs, cruise missiles, um, with massive warheads, approximately 60 tons of explosive materials um, were attempted to be dropped on Israel on Saturday night, um, which is a huge amount of explosives. You could just imagine what that energy could be used for if it wasn't used to try to destroy us. An absolute waste, not just in terms of um, use of energy and what the Iranian people would need, but also waste because we have a strong army, a highly prepared military, and we managed to intercept 99% of those missiles. If you've been watching the news headlines over the last 24 hours or so, we found one of the missiles that was attempted to be dropped on Israel, and it was about 11 meters long, over a meter wide. I saw it myself yesterday, and this what you can see if you even now or after this briefing look it up, you can see um, a huge piece of shrapnel that was attempted to be blasted at Israeli civilians' infrastructure, but we managed to intercept it. Um, the way we were able to intercept it is also unprecedented. Coming together with a strategic alliance of our partner nations, which include the US, the UK, France, and others, we successfully defended ourselves as we have done, as we will continue to do, pretty much in any briefing I give or group I talk to. It's really important for me to emphasize. If I emphasize one thing, it's that Israel is not going anywhere. We're here and we're here to stay. The way that we're here to stay is through our technological superiority. It's through the brains of the ingenious Jewish people and the people of Israel. You're going to hear from some extremely brainy people. My colleagues here, my friends Shimrit and all, are going to share with you later on. But the reason we're able to survive is because of the way we've worked strategically, technologically, and also with successful partnership with the countries I named beforehand. But it's really important when I think about the attacks that Iran attempted to launch on our civilians, on our communities, infrastructure, and military on Saturday night. Is the reality, and this is something that probably a lot of the people around the world don't like to look at, is the damage that would have been done if we had not successfully defended ourselves. People don't like to look at the amount of buildings, the amount of people that would have been killed, and people say, "Oh, Iran knew that Israel has all this incredible technology." Well, we've invested in it. We've invested in the future. We've invested in defending ourselves, and we will continue to do so. And it's important to emphasize what I'm sure many of you have heard already, but I'll say it on behalf of the Israeli Defense Forces, that we continue to be on high alert and are really ready for any scenario, whether it's defensive, whether it's offensive. And we now have the power, and we will choose when to respond, both in terms of time and in terms of place, in terms of what is strategically wise. And obviously, we have to take our cues from the political echelon. I'm personally expert on military strategy, but not on a political strategy. That's not our area of expertise in the IDF spokesperson. But what I can tell you is that we are standing strongly against Iran, against all of the Iranian proxies, against the axis of terror that they've launched, which they have shown since October 7th, in terms of the attacks from Hezbollah, from the Houthis in Yemen, from places in Syria and Iraq. And on Saturday night, they really raised their evil head in a way that they hadn't done before. They showed their true intentions of seeking to destroy Israel, seeking um, to rain psychological terror on the people of Israel. I mean, I'm speaking on behalf of the military, but I am in reserves, and I do go home every evening. And I can say that on Sunday morning, things were tense in Tel Aviv. People weren't really out and about. It was chillingly quiet as I made my way back to the base after a very limited number of hours sleep. But by Sunday evening, everyone was out again. Life goes on. We are strong. We are determined. And I'm very, very proud to be a member of the Israeli Defense Forces today during this time when we've shown that we are both willing and capable to stand against any evil force that would seek to come up against us. And I think it goes well with the festival of Purim, which we've just had. I know Passover is coming up. We're going to talk about liberation, but my mind's still in Purim and in the success and the way that we've stood against enemies who've come up against us. And Purim is particularly pertinent when we're talking about the Iranian threat. But it's really good to be here. I'm happy and proud to be with so many supportive faces. I see Israel flags in the backgrounds of many of you, and it's truly heartwarming. It means so much to the IDF. It means so much to all of us as Israelis, as Jewish people, to see you standing day in, day out. Often I tell my friends around the world that I know they say thank you for your service, but I say that to them and to all of you, thank you for your service. It's really, really important to raise awareness around the world where it's difficult to see what's actually going on here on the ground, the evil that we're facing, but also the resilience and strength of the people of Israel standing up against that terror. So just like many people say thank you for my service, I say really to you, thank you for everything, to all of you for all that you do. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them either now or later on. But there's some very intelligent, people who are doing very important things, and I'll let them have the floor as well.
So, David, you know, everybody would like to know what the retaliation is going to look like, but we're not going to ask you that question. The question that we will ask is, with so much equipment being used to counter the Iranian attacks, how long will it take to resupply that equipment so that we're prepared again?
Okay, so what I can tell you is that we are prepared. We are already prepared again. We're not in a situation in which we lasted one night and now we're stuck. Obviously, the cost of defending against the Iranian operation is significant. Now, the IDF and alongside our international partners that I mentioned, and also those that I didn't mention, are standing strongly. We know that Iran has capabilities beyond what they've thrown at us, and we also have a lot more in our back pocket, so to speak. So in terms of time, in the sense of, are we ready if Iran come tonight? Yes, we are. In terms of replenishing specifically what we had there, I mean, obviously you need to buy weapons, you need to manufacture them, but we have more than enough, and we're definitely ready to face whatever threats our enemies send at us. So it's a good question. And regarding, I appreciate you not asking the retaliation. I mean, that's obviously, it's beyond my pay grade. And everybody has their own opinion on exactly how and what. And I respect, and as the military, we also respect different people's opinions, and we'll take our cues from those who give us our commands and do our job as best as we can, and be ultimately committed, continue to be committed to the security of the people of Israel.